maybe not at every given moment, but many moments for many years now as the best mid laner in the world. And now they're looking mid.
Cuzz looking to gank that best mid laner in the world. Chovy flashes immediately into the flag and drag. Knocked back with the seismic shove. But his rocks become his tombstone. KT on the board for first blood.
And when you want to talk about pressure, flashing in line with the flag and drag there, I think he was maybe trying to flash over it.
Snap engage. Duro in particular has been exceptional at this as they're...
And there it goes, straight onto Dogdam. Cease and desist living as the CAITLYN falls to Canyon. Gen.G on the board in the semifinals. Up from the bot side, but might just be focused on the Scuttle Crab. Peter looking to see if there's anything he can do here, but it doesn't really feel like KT want to contest right now. The cease and desist from Gen.G, they want the fight on their terms, and they kill off the Nico immediately. Nothing that KT can do to collapse.
I want to highlight as well the fact the ability for KT to find these angles as BDD.
Weavers will fate sealed again from BDD before the neutral. Gen.G collapsed onto him. Did have to use that Weaver's wall, and now the question is for KT, do you hit?
Oh, Peter lost flash.
Do you go for the fight? Peter, no flash, as you say. That Nico, half of a champ if he can't get onto the backline, still looking for the engage. Meanwhile, the cease and desist into the quickness combo. A double charm comes out from Duro, and Gen.G just rip the hearts out of KT.
And that play from Duro, the man that at the beginning of the year was the weak spot for Gen.G. Because every single member that you might send forward will just get
Duro's
blown
gonna
up.
get spotted potentially here. He's still in that brush.
They don't know.
Walks into the bush, there's Duro, gets the quickness off, Weaver's wall out, and the charm follows up. KT, though, still alive. Peter yet to fall. Cuzz going in with the flag and drag. Fate sealed. Flash away from Canyon. He dashes out with a bolt breaker. Gen.G now on the back foot. The ace in the hole cancelled by the knock up a seismic shove onto Cuzz. Kiin the first to fall. Gen.G on the back foot. KT still looking to find purchase in the fight.
It's still a big win for KT, though. We'll see if they can turn it into more. Might not want to run the risk with Canyon still alive, but Gen.G overstep big time there. Backline, that might be an angle, but Perfect doesn't have his flash. Stop was used in that topside play as well.
They go for Canyon, jump on him immediately with the Bolt Breaker to get himself out. The tower falls in mid. KT not really defending that mid tower for now, as KT still look to start up this Drake. Will be soul point for them. Chovy on the flank as he wraps around to join his team behind this Drake. Perfect with that equalizer. Weaver's wall. Perfect's on the wrong side of it, but can walk out towards the top side of his jungle. Drake down to 2,000 HP. Peter with the pop blossom, and a fight flowers for KT. BDD dives in. Gen.G are left routed as Ruler has nowhere to go. Flashes, but with an ace in the hole. One more bullet in Dogdam's shot. A cataclysm. The tomb for Ruler as KT clean up the fight.
The amount of damage that they are going to be pumping out here with BDD and Dogdam, if they find that good engage, they have the power behind them to knock them down.
Gen.G know the BDD isn't here right now as Ruler. Valkyrie's in. Dogdam has to flash across the wall. Equalizer down as well. The Weaver's wall from Chovy puts him on the backline. A seismic jump. Gonna cut down Perfect. Cataclysm in as KT look for the fight, but they just lock Gen.G in. And they don't have the damage. Kiin on that front line. Mortal Blade coming out from BDD for the knockup. Chovy flashing forward. Chucking the rocks into Dogdam, but he can't quite get the damage. BDD finds one. Dogdam walks away wounded. Cuzz dives into the middle, but they don't have it. KT routed by Gen.G. BDD locked up with the slow from a decimating smash, and that axe will make him go timber. Kiin picks up the final. It's a 4-for-1 for Gen.G.
There is just, as we keep highlighting, there's just no vision. There's no surprise angle, so Gen.G will see this attack coming.
There's no wards, nothing out on the map.
They just don't have an easy way to get it down as well. They don't have a tank to face check for the support to run behind, and they also don't have something like a RAKAN decimating smash onto Cuzz, caught out with that lack of vision. Kiin with the roar of the Slayer finds his mark. BDD forced away towards the top side. Peter having to flash Dogdam underneath the tower. Pop Blossom from Peter will distract the rest of Gen.G. Canyon's going to go into the Guardian Angel, but the Angel's on his shoulder might be enough. Fate sealed from BDD onto the backline. They'll look for Ruler. Kiin flashes. Get down, Mr. Ruler, as he blocks the shot from the ace in the hole. Decimating smash again. Perfect looking for more. BDD going in with a Mortal Strike 3. Tries to get onto Ruler. The damage doesn't tick. Ruler still stands. A Kiin will run for him. BDD finds another Ruler down. Just the mid lane is left alive. BDD versus Chovy. We've seen it so many times over the years.
But Cuzz is coming up faster. They could go for the soul here right now. We gotta go live.
as they actually pulled it to try and get her as much time as possible. Canyon's on his way!
But he's all the way back in base right now. Ping's coming out on where he is. Cuzz and BDD looking for the break. Duro doesn't have the smite from some of the spellbook. It's gonna be sold for KT. From 5k behind, they find their priceless moment. Gen.G. KT looking to call the bluff. It's already down to 7k. BDD going forward. There's the Weaver's Wall. Out from Chovy. Peter lands a double knocker, but he's on the wrong side of the wall. The equalizer down as well. Will chip away at Duro. Baron now resetting. Duro down to half HP. KT on the front foot, on the offensive. Chovy looking for a flick. Doesn't land it. It's a shape splitter anyway. That clone from Peter.
That is 2 big ultimates gone though. As both the Equalizer and the Pop Blossom not available, so BDD and his team definitely taking a risk. Canyon is behind him.
Duro looking for that redemption because he's still got the quickness. They'll dive onto Perfect and they lock him down. He dies in the River of Fate Seal onto the back line with the Cataclysm out as well. But Ruler still stands, taken out in the end by BDD, who's now making a swift retreat. Dogdam in the pit, caught out by Duro. The headshot! He loads another into the chamber, but he can't quite get the damage down. BDD looking for more as he sees his teammates fall. He can't find it. Gen.G somehow win out the fight.
And the Baron stayed least throughout all of that.
Yeah, but it's KT holding on well. No inhibitors have fallen yet. They did lose the one tower, but only 40 seconds left on this Baron.
He goes in, and he tries to seal the fates of Chovy, but he pops a stopwatch immediately. The Snapzap gets him. Cataclysm off the backline. Gen.G have already lost their mid laner. A GA coming out for KT as they manage to back away. Gen.G lose 2. BDD wants to make it more, can't find it, but KT hold on.
The engage from BDD is such a thing of beauty because the Zonius loses so much power against the CAITLYN. So
Teleport comes in for Chovy. KT put up a snap trap line to try and stop them. Peter has that Pop Blossom. They'll look for the Fate Seal. The Elder already down to 7,000. Shape Splitter out. Seismic Shot. Peter gets the Pop Blossom only onto Duro, but the Elder is secured, and now KT will look to turn the fight. Gen.G immediately run for the hills. Kiin flashes across the Fate Sealed from BDD, trying to take out Chovy. Duro falls on the back line as KT continue to collapse. Cuzz dodges the Seismic Shot, but Chovy survives. The Elder doesn't quite tick him down. In the end, a 1-for-1, but KT secure the Elder Dragon.
Experience not really gonna match up at this point. And Dogdam and BDD, the amount of damage these two players are dealing in these late game fights, full build on these crit carries is disgusting.
90 seconds on this Baron buff. 130 before the Elder. KT marching down bot. Gen.G trying to defend. Bolt breaker from Canyon is met by a Soul Unbound from BDD. He snaps back to his team, but not yet to reality as KT are looking to take the first game of their first semi-final over the MSI champions. KT pushing in. Gen.G struggling to find a defense right now.
And this all coming down to this. KT on the verge of taking the first game, but Gen.G are not going to fall over without a fight.
Kiin still that meatball on the front line, but has to pop the ultimate to try and escape. Knocked up, forced away. The Nexus Towers. KT's target is Dogdam. Headshots 1. The next one for Gen.G, their last bastion of defense. The cannon minion still there, seismically shoved underneath the turret. The Baron expires in 40 seconds, and again KT just playing it slow, taking it patient, snapping back again. The Nexus Tower almost down. Canyon dives in, but Peter distracts the rest of Gen.G. Canyon size a GA, but the rest of Gen.G can't get to him. They've been equalized. The Guardian Angel down on Canyon, meanwhile BDD distracting. Generation Gaming. The Cataclysm in from Cuzz will build the walls of Gen.G's tomb. Gen.G taken down by the might that is the KT Coaster.
And that was just game 1. What a start to this World Semifinals. Gen.G and KT.
Feel confident, I imagine, in the 1v1, but yeah, there's going to be a little bit of a time waste for him. Could be looking towards BDD, though.
Gonna run towards that middle lane. BDD needs to get the hell out of here. Chovy's on the chase. BDD flashes and face plants in the wall.
And it's kind of a flip situation. This time it's KT trying to get access to that dragon.
Duro on that front line. The hook lands onto Peter. Cuzz gets the root down. Piercing arrow. Again onto Duro as he falls low. He has to flash away. The knockback onto Chovy separates the fight. Drake secured by Gen.G. Double flash of the root still onto Ruler. Dogdam looking to put the arrows into the back of his enemy man. The Realm War back as Peter's getting onto that backline, but Gen.G. immediately turn and burn. But Canyon is the one who is aflame. Hero's entrance will not be a good exit for Chovy, as now he needs to escape the clutches of KT. They've already lost two. Gen.G. trying to get Ruler out of here as the chase down towards the bottom side. Chovy against Cuzz has to burn the flash, but Cuzz finds him still. KT come out on top.
Cuzz is a mistake early in game 2 when you're already down one is tough.
And on the other side, how hype are KT feeling, right? Coming into this, as we see Peter look for the engage onto Duro, we'll get the trample down, the hook's gonna land as Cuzz dives in. Supreme display of talent, the Nautilus falls first, but meanwhile the Crescent Guard from Canyon keeps him alive. Peter gets the knock up and a knock back. Ruler gets the shutdown though, as two will fall. Gen.G. bite back in the game.
Yeah, that was not and it will be a must fight for KT. They have a really, really strong ability, I think, to both rotate around that with the Realm Warp, as well as use the power of that REK'SAI and Kiana to get on the back line. Gen.G, though, not gonna let them breathe. Starts up the Herald.
Herald begun, TP coming in. KT looking to cut Duro and Ruler off from an easy path up towards the river. Canyon realizes it, backs away from the Herald, which will reset its patience in a moment. Chovy TPing in. The hook's gonna land though, as they look for Peter. Flashes in, headbutt pulverize, Supreme display of talent as well, but only onto Chovy. The redemption comes out as Ruler, Arcane shifts forward. He wants part of this fight. Canyon with the Crescent Guard, Chain of Corruption will lock him up, and it missed times as they go in. Ruler able to pick up one, another hook coming out from Duro. The depth charge on the back line into the taunt from Chovy. Gen.G rule the rift as KT can find nothing.
Gen.G showcasing their incredible team fighting here. That was just immaculate. Early force on the ult from Peter.
And we will see if they can replicate that in this Dragon fight.
Ruler now 2,500 gold ahead of his opposite man, already on his going towards his third item, as Dogdam only sits on one. Perfect looking for the flank. The Drake begun, Hex flash forward. Canyon dives onto Peter. Riptail has been summoned towards the top side as they go in for the fight, and we see KT able to secure the Drake, but Peter now needs to retreat. Perfect up towards the top side, trying to distract Canyon. Peter falling lower. Down comes the anchor and sends him into the depths. Gen.G find another. For KT, they got the Drake, and that's really all they wanted. Riptail charges in. Perfect matches it. Should be able to kill it off. Duro with a good hook away, but BDD still on the chase. Depth charge, Arcane shift, Mystic shot from Ruler, but into the Supreme display of talent as KT turn it around. Canyon forced away as they chase forward onto him. Perfect finds another. KT turn around the fight.
And it's straight up disrespect from Gen.G, looking for exit kills, and KT says thank you very much as Ruler tries to replicate the last play.
Again, but Dragon spawning here in 5 seconds. KT with good positioning here once again in the area. You can see Chovy is moving down. BDD is going to TP early to be with the squad, but we'll see if they just are going to start it. It looks like they will.
Double to B.
A couple of wards in the back of the pit from Gen.G as they look to gain vision around it. Perfect looking for that flank. No wards where he is. Duro going in with the hook. Drake down to 6,000. Perfect still peeking his head out as they dive in. Canyon looking for the steal here, but it's Cuzz that gets it. BDD forced to flash away. Here is Angels from Chovy in the pit. Kiin diving forward. Ruler caught out by Perfect. Canyon falling lower as Cuzz finds two. KT winning the fight on the bottom side, but the top side is all in favor of Kiin. Ruler almost going down. Chovy still on the chase. Dogdam trying to get away. Perfect and Peter trying to protect him. The flash away from Dogdam. The taunt short from Chovy. Chovy falls. Only the top laners left alive, and Perfect will burrow his way away.
And this is going to be soul point for whichever team picks it up. Both Dogdam and Ruler have access to their flashes. BDD just now finishes his Void Staff. Third item for Cuzz as well.
The problem for Gen.G is they don't really have vision around this area at all. They've got a single control ward, now a couple in that mid lane bush. Peter caught out with a hook once again as he has to flash away. Has the honey fruit to pop himself up as Ruler lands the damage across the wall. He couldn't see him. It was blind, and Ruler finds his man. KT now a man down, can't defend. The Drake secured soul point for Gen.G.
Yeah, the problem is they're just going to go to Baron, I think, here, and they're just going to force your hand. Peter getting caught back-to-back fights. This time he doesn't have the ulti. And BDD and Perfect were pretty late to the fight, so Gen.G just walked through mid. They get the Dragon, they go to soul point, they take tier 1, and now they're going to put pressure here onto the Baron. And Peter's not up for 10.
Cuzz is going to look for the steal. Ruler wisely standing on this side of the wall, now dashes in with that arcane shift. Perfect clears out a bit of vision. Cuzz hasn't been seen here. Gen.G, the Baron down to 6.5k. Canyon and Ruler still on it. Cuzz still looking for the steal. Perfect and BDD down towards the bottom side, distracting the rest of Gen.G. Cuzz can jump in. The Winds of War from Chovy. Duro knocked up. Redemption out. Canyon almost falling as Cuzz dives into the pit. There's no jungler there. Canyon goes in, and he manages to land the smite. KT now on the back foot. Public execution from Kiin, not quite connecting, and KT turn and burn. Peter's here for a little bit more. The hero's entrance won't be quick enough to save his support. Perfect diving onto that backline. Chovy falling lower. Kiin forced away towards the top side. Chovy with a stopwatch. Dog damn can't land. The piercing arrow through that. Flash away, the Realm Warp gets KT out, but Gen.G secure the Baron.
On the map and reclaim vision. And Peter has been getting picked a number of times, and it could be a repeat.
Flash hook, immediately they look for Cuzz, they'll take out the jungler. Ruler finds the kill, and now Peter tries to flash away, tries to get to safety. KT will shepherd him back into the base, but Gen.G don't even need to turn towards that Drake yet. They can push for the tier 2 on the top side, they can push for the inhib tower on mid.
Out all these wards, they're making the approach so difficult for KT.
And that's kind of a flex from Dogdam, right? Like being up.
Peter's going. Immediately they dive into Chovy. They have the Chain of Corruption coming out as well. It's going to land a Taunt, the Crescent Guard out as well from Canyon. Chovy falling lower. Perfect's on the flank, lands a double knockup. Chovy needs to get out, and he will. A public execution slays the cow. Roast beef for Kiin as he finds two. Dogdam will follow. Canyon dives back in, flashes away, still has the Angel to bring him back to life. And now Kiin can advance, and Cuzz can do nothing but flash and a try to get himself out. Kiin will chase for days, though. Cuzz forced down towards this blue side jungle. KT lose the fight. Gen.G, do you stick or do you twist? It looks like Baron is their target.
Yeah, Cuzz still going to stay around, but it's going to be incredibly difficult for him to get in the area. He's hoping he can find a miracle to get into that pit. I mean, he has the sweeper. He knows he's not spotted, but he is now.
Ruler jumps immediately onto him. He knows his job here. They don't need the damage on the Baron, just force Cuzz away. Can't quite hit the Mystic shot. Perfect hit, the TP in for BDD, another TP to follow it. As KT think perhaps we can take the fight after the big purple worm. Peter's here to join the fray, but Baron already for Gen.G. KT now back away. The Realm Warp used, true shot barrage on Cuzz. Almost takes him out.
By the rest of his team that got KT out of what felt like at that point a position that generally Gen.G wouldn't lose from, as they are unrelenting, pushing on.
Ooh, Chain of Corruption comes out. Ruler with the Mercurial is going to cleanse away that slope. It was here that BDD managed to do it, but he doesn't have the same impetus to engage, doesn't have the same tools in his arsenal to get there. Inhib on the top side, taken by Gen.G. Now KT will put all 5 players to defending this mid lane wave that Chovy is going to begin to bring in. Gen.G, though, can still use the top side. Knock up onto Kiin. He dashes away. The route onto Duro with the Rune Prison. Perfect falling lower. Forced away by Ruler. Will be able to heal up in that passive. True shot rush dodged by Cuzz, but not by Peter. A public execution onto the backline. The knockback onto Kiin immediately. The redemption coming out as well. Crescent Guard BDD trying to get onto Duro. Will find it. The taunt onto Cuzz. Kiin dashing in. Knocked back under the tower, but Ruler untouched. Canyon untouched. Chovy untouched. And Gen.G marching down mid for the win.
And you know Ruler is calling for that. Pantine comes right now. Already picked up his double. KT, though, they're going to try and hold on. TP's going to come in. Baron buff still for another 10 seconds.
Reset coming out from Chovy. He's finished a neat death cap. The Rabadons for that extra bit of damage. The Nexus Tower is falling. Ruler and Chovy take the first. Kiin trying to get this wave in for the second. Perfect. Dogdam and Peter needs to try and defend, but Peter's already back in the base, just healing up on that fountain. The Nexus Tower falling lower. Ruler with a true shot for Rush can still arcane shift away from the oncoming REK'SAI. The Nexus Tower will be taken. Kiin behind them. KT trying to defend, but they just don't have the wallets. Gen.G will answer the fight and go 1-1 in the series.
Gen.G battling back here. KT kept the pressure on, but Gen.G are just too
good. Now starting to build towards that Chovy lead we all know and love. As
Empress Vine, he tries to flash away from it. He slammed into the wall. Chovy, take a pew. Your church is closed. KT find the kill on the enemy mid and will turn their eyes towards the Drake.
And again, that's with BDD not having his flash.
Oh my god, he got solo killed.
Grand Starfall in from Canyon as he looks for the chase onto BDD, but BDD still has the flash and he'll jump over the wall.
And you're just going to get auto to death. I mean, he procced the phase rush. The phase rush expires. You cannot stand around like that. You need to be able to exit the fight. BDD, where you thought, surely this is the year that they're going to be able to win, has yet to make it to a final. BDD finds him again.
Chovy. BDD takes a couple of towers, or it takes 3. BDD just dies. Cuzz will get one in response, but the shutdown gold over to Chovy.
And Chovy getting that shutdown, absolutely pivotal. It felt like if that doesn't come through, he's just straight up out of the game. But now we see the gold, at least mostly equalized. Canyon doesn't have his ult, and KT has started this up. TP comes in.
Now looking for the fight here around the Herald. Counter TP being used as Perfect's going to join the fight. Kiin in the back of the pit. Perfect's there, trying to act as that front line. Looking for the eye. The solar flare, Dogdam immediately cleanses away from it. Canyon dives in, a great step up presence stops Duro from coming in. The TP first, it's going to be BDG joining the fight. Kiin forced up towards the top side. Perfect's going to 1v1 him with the all out. Now the charge forward from KT. They find 3 as Gen.G are left reeling.
In that fight, by the way, which we didn't even really get to talk about, just straight up 1v1 Kiin.
Enchanted Crystal going down, there's Keeper's Verdict as well. Ruler doesn't get the chance to move. Duro has the flash, takes the Chemtech Blast Cone to get himself to safety, but KT will take the blue. They'll steal the jungle.
And it's Chovy making so many mistakes. It's Dogdam.
Grand Starfall onto Dogdam. Does have the flash. He's going to use it to get across the red pit. Can't do it in time. Solar flare from Duro finds its mark. Chovy gets the shutdown.
But had he gone down, then the AATROX is a very real possibility.
In the last game, it was Cuzz that had a big mistake, was the one that kind of inadvertently set up Ruler in a position to carry, right? Gave over the early shutdown, not this time!
Yeah, to Chovy, perfect here! Pathmaker will find Chovy, and he doesn't get a chance to move! KT once again, kill off the enemy mid!
We'll have to see. Gen.G, there are a couple of strong members, Kiin and Chovy, but it does really just feel like KT is running the rift.
Perfect with the face check, the slam into the wall. The arrow follows up, and once again it hits Chovy somehow. Gen.G on the retreat, KT will back away, don't have to go any further. They still have the Keeper's Verdict, the Emperor's Divide. They use the Redemption to top up Perfect. They turn their eyes towards the Drake Soul for them. Canyon a long way away, has that Grand Starfall. Kiin going to try and flank across here. Could use the World Ender. Starfall in from Canyon. Looks for the steal, but immediately he's yeeted. The Keeper's Verdict finds him guilty, and Emperor's Divide knocks the World Ender into the middle. The Shockwave finds KT, but Duro dives in, and the rest of Gen.G just can't follow him. KT claim the soul, they claim the kills, and they claim Gen.G's lives.
KT is just running through the fight. Chovy's in trouble. BDD's going.
BDD can still chase them in. He's the only one left alive. Chovy stands alone as KT clean up the fight.
And that is a 5-for-1 soul for KT.
But KT, they're 9,000 gold ahead. 3 items on BDD. The Leandry's complete. For Dogdam, he has a Peter in his pocket to help buff up those autos. Duro and Canyon and Chovy still looking for the flanks. BDD might face check into it. Enchanted Crystal coming out with BDD. Uses the soldiers to check for him. His bodyguards as he forces Chovy away. Canyon falls. Duro likely to follow suit soon. Chovy teleports out and dies anyway.
He gets taken down. It's another kill, and it's going to be the Baron here for KT. BDD will not get caught sleeping. Sniffs out the attempted play from Gen.G, goes straight at him, and comes out on top.
It's a victory lap for the roller coaster. Get in now, you get an extra ride for free. As KT
it's just the Cinderella story for KT, the rebellion of the underdog. I think a lot of people looked at this series and said the only way KT even have a chance is for Gen.G to drastically underperform, but today it has been KT stepping up time after time. Gen.G trying to defend the top lane inhib. Dogdang steps forward, puts the damage down into it. 2 minutes left on this Baron buff as KT take the inhib tower. In the mid lane, Perfect will shepherd in the next wave. The inhibitor falls for KT, and now they move across towards mid.
KT trying to put the finishing touches here. Gen.G has to decide when will they make their final stand. It's still a minute and a half left on this Baron. It's not as though it's about to expire. They've already lost 2 inhibs here. They don't have that bot wave moving for them, but they just want to play through 2 waves, have these 2 waves synced up, and start to really put pressure on the Nexus towers.
Chovy and Gen.G trying to defend. The solar flare BDD slides away from it. You can't catch me. Starfall in, but Canyon's locked up. The keeper's verdict knocks back one. Cuzz goes in for the chase, but can't quite find the damage on the Canyon. But here comes Doc for the rest of it. Kiin with the whole world on his shoulders as he pops the world ender. But he's stunned up, locked up, and taken out by KT. Another name on the list for KT. They take their destiny into their own hands as they go one game away from finals. And take him down before that effective HP comes back. It's easy enough to kill off the Mundo. Grub started by Gen.G. Chovy the first to move from mid. BDD forced back underneath his tower. Cuzz trying to make his way in here, but with the concussive blows about to proc, I think he might back away. Puts the Q back into Gen.G. The first grub's gonna go. As Peter begins to step up, BDD still looking for the flank. There's the second grub as they pull in with a hostile takeover, even by the Unbreakable. BDD with a great petrifying gaze, finds three. Duro chased away here, has to flash. Ruler doing the same. Dogtime still on the chase. Chovy able to pick up BDD on the back line. The wall enough to save Ruler. Gen.G get out with two grubs and a 1-for-1.
Yeah, Ruler barely limps out of that one. That was incredibly close to taking him down here.
Kiin just straight up walked all the way down, but there comes the teleport from Perfect.
Teleport from Perfect. They're looking for the call of the Forge God here. Cuzz going in, maximum dosage use. Hostile takeover. Lands onto Canyon. Cuzz stepping into Duro. Cuzz CC flashes away. The smite comes out from Canyon. Gen.G secure it. Call of the Forge God from Perfect as they flash forward. BDD looking for the petrifying gaze, but can't quite find it. Kiin falling lower. Perfect on the chase. KT find one. But the Drake's already gone over to Gen.G. KT will look for a little bit more. Noxious blast from BDD. The Fates call. Calls the BRAUM to an early grave as KT find a second.
I'm feeling good. Did an interview with Kenzie, said I think it'll be 3-0, 3-1 maybe. And those are the type of vibes, the confidence that is hard to match as we go into another team fight for Herald.
Gen.G have all 5 players here immediately. TP to the mid lane from Perfect. He's a long way away. The Herald already down to 5,500 HP as Gen.G look for it. BDD on the flank. Duro flash. Winter's Bite into the Glacial Fissure. They dodge a petrifying gaze, but Duro's still caught by it. Flash hostile takeover coming out into the Fates call. The Cuzz is able to get the Herald as Kiin tries to get onto that back line, but so much work here from KT. They've already found 2 in the fight, and the tides are very much in their favor. They'll chase down Canyon. KT raw to life in game 4.
Yeah, Gen.G trying to force KT's hand. They got some critical cooldowns there. No Mundo ult is massive, and they're getting sown by the ANIVIA.
There's a hostile takeover. Duro will be looking for that Unbreakable. Chovy forced away towards the Tri-Bush. 6,000 HP on the RAKAN right now. Impale lands. Hostile takeover coming out as well. It's eaten by the Unbreakable. BDD flashing forward with the Miasma. Redemption's coming out as Dogtime dances around the fight. Kiin forced to flash away. Perfect able to escape with a sliver of HP, as is Peter. Ruler now on the front line. He stares into the eyes of BDD and he's turned to stone. His tombstone litters the rift as KT win the fight at RAKAN.
It's KT winning the fight, getting the RAKAN, and they are going for the dragon here as well. It's going to be KT on soul point, on match point, 8-1, and on the precipice.
Has a Mega Blast Cone there for him to try and escape, but there's no Fates call, there's no hostile takeover, there's no maximum dosage, and there's no call of the Forge God. Will Gen.G want to take the fight? ZHAO thinks it's already over, and perhaps it is for KT. Gen.G stepping forward, KT still on that Baron, 5,000 on it as Canyon looks for a flank position. The Baron, the target for KT, they'll smite it, they'll secure it. Dogdam stepping forward, dashing onto Kiin, the damage on the Perfect as well, but a petrifying gaze once again from BDD. He sends Gen.G home in body bags. Chovy trying to escape, and he will manage to get to the safety of his tower.
And BDD says, I am going to the World Finals as he flashes in. Perfect finds the perfect knock-up.
Right, and this Elder is coming up here under 2 minutes now. Gen.G
Mega Blast going on to
Perfect. Gotta try to find something.
They're looking for it. Perfect. There's Canyon comes in. Ishtal's impact for the CC. Perfect's going to try and walk his way out of this one, but even with a Bellows Breath, even with a double knock-up, Perfect cannot survive. His KDA goes from Perfect to Imp as he goes 2-1-6.
That doesn't turning here in favor of KT.
And if Kiin over pushes, you can see BDD and Cuzz are moving up. I think Kiin is going to die, and this timing might matter.
BDD going in, Dark Possession being used. BDD needs to auto that down, but Cuzz has the flank position on towards this YORICK. Kiin has no flash. No hope.
They're delaying
no
it.
No life left. They'll delay it because in 55 seconds, the Elder will spawn. Cuzz can chase him down with the Bone Saw as Kiin has no one here to help him. BDD in the end will claim the kill with Twin Fangs.
And it's BDD taking down his old teammate in the sideline. They tried to make it in 2023. They were unable to get past Gen.G. It was another KT performance that, even though it was admirable, they put up a good fight, it just wasn't enough.
Cuzz is 16, that is massive for the Mundo. Did get there before this final fight.
Dogdamn just finished his Guardian Angel as well. He's on his way out of the base, so it's going to take him a little bit of time to arrive here. Cuzz steps forward. As the Mundo, he's going where he pleases right now. BDD, BDD, BDD! He's looking for the flank, and here comes BDD! Miasma onto Duro, Gen.G forced up towards the top side of the fight. The face call onto Peter, handshake going wide, calling out, hostile takeover used as well. And KT haven't found the engage that they wanted out of this as Gen.G begin to turn it around. A good wall, but Perfect breaks it. Slams his noggin in the gate against it and cracks it in twain. Gen.G still looking for the fight here as BDD once again is on the flank.
Yeah, BDD looking for the flank, but Perfect already got low, and Cuzz has no ult now. Chovy just controlling that space beautifully. Gen.G have a chance here. They're trying to buy time for the Ornn to TP back.
It's the last stand here from Gen.G, desperately trying not to give it over, but there we go, Ornn's back. His cooldown still available.
Chovy on the flank, blast cone down, Cuzz cleansed away with them. Mikhail's Canyon in the pit, Cuzz has to flash. As they look for the engaged Canyon going in, Cuzz in the middle of the pit as well. The redemption coming out from Gen.G. Cuzz trying to get out of that obsession. The morning mist landing on towards the backline. The Elder down to 7,000. Good stun coming out. The corner of the port got Duro blocks. The Glacial Fisher out as well. The Elder secured as KT. They get it and Dogdamn. It's flashing forward. Ruler rules no longer. KT clean up the fight and they'll march down mid.
And KT! I can't believe it! The roller coaster is not done yet! Peter was right! We're going up! Up! Up!
In the most unbelievable World Semis, no one thought they could do it!
KT, all the years, all the tears, all the fears forgotten. It is one step closer to the promised land. As we see no defense available for Gen.G. KT are going to finals!